What if the choices you made today were not entirely your own, but rather the quiet echoes of a whisper planted in your mind weeks ago? We live in an era where the most sophisticated battles are not fought on open battlefields, but in the silent, uncharted depths of human psychology. Deep in the forgotten archives of psychological research lies a chilling truth: the human mind is remarkably easy to reprogram when its vulnerabilities are mapped. Dark manipulation operates not through force, but through a slow, imperceptible realignment of your own desires. To understand how this silent siege begins, we must look at the concept of cognitive priming, the art of preparing a mind to accept an idea before it is ever presented. By subtly exposing a subject to specific words, colors, or symbols, the manipulator builds a mental runway for their ultimate goal. Imagine a chess player who doesn't just predict your moves, but subtly alters the board so that your only logical choice is the one they planned for you to make. This is the illusion of autonomy, the foundational pillar of dark psychology. The first masterstroke of the manipulator is the creation of a false binary, presenting two options that both lead to the same predetermined outcome. By forcing your attention onto a choosing game, they hide the fact that the entire game is a construct. Next comes the weaponization of isolation, a technique designed to cut you off from external reference points of truth. When a person is separated from the stabilizing voices of friends, family, and objective reality, their perspective becomes highly malleable. In this artificial isolation, the manipulator introduces the mirror effect. They reflect your deepest fears, values, and insecurities back at you. This creates an instant, intense bond of artificial trust, making you believe you have found a soulmate, when in reality, you have found a mirror. Perhaps the most dangerous actors are dark empaths, individuals who possess high emotional intelligence but use it exclusively to exploit. They do not lack empathy; instead, they use their precise understanding of your feelings as a surgical scalpel to bypass your defenses. Once inside your defenses, they employ the slow burn tactic of gaslighting, a systematic erosion of your confidence in your own memory and perception. By subtly denying small, verifiable truths over time, they force you to rely entirely on their version of reality. To solidify this dependency, they use intermittent reinforcement, the psychological engine behind gambling addiction. By alternating between intense warmth and cold abandonment, they keep your brain locked in a state of perpetual anxiety, seeking their validation like a drug. Observe the language they use; it is carefully stripped of absolute meanings and replaced with highly emotional, vague phrases that allow your own mind to fill in the blanks. They speak in ink blots, letting your imagination do the work of deceiving yourself. Like a predator studying the gait of its prey, the master manipulator tracks your micro-expressions, the split-second, involuntary movements of your facial muscles. They know exactly when you are doubting, when you are afraid, and when you are fully captured. Over months or years, this relentless pressure changes the physical structure of your brain, shrinking the hippocampus and expanding the amygdala. You are no longer acting out of logical thought, but out of a continuous, low-grade survival response. But the moment the invisible cage is recognized, its power begins to dissolve. Psychological manipulation relies on its invisibility. Once you understand the mechanics of the trap itself becomes your map to freedom. Reclaiming your mental sovereignty requires a fierce, unyielding commitment to self-knowledge. When you fully understand your own wounds, fears, and desires, they can no longer be used as levers against you. True autonomy is not the absence of influence, but the conscious filter through which you choose what to accept. By cultivating silence, mindfulness, and a deep connection to your inner compass, you build an impenetrable fortress around your mind. Ultimately, the battle for your mind is won not by fighting the whispers of the world, but by strengthening the voice of your own soul. The deepest power you possess is the quiet, unbreakable awareness of who you truly are. To break free from the invisible chains of manipulation, unlock these hidden truths, and awaken your inner power, read the book Ancient Manifestation Techniques, a sacred guide to awaken your inner power. The link to begin your journey of self-mastery is in the description below.